Thumbs up. Yep. Taps it. And around he goes.
And look at him work the wheel and trying to save the sky. He didn't. The car hit the wall, both the left front and the left rear. And now from the speed shot, we'll take a look at it once again. That second contact was pretty severe here on the left rear.
That's just sheet metal back there. I don't know that it hurt the car too bad, but he certainly got to go in the pits and change tires, which he's in the pits right now.
Here's the other angle of it. Up hard into that wall.
Hard. Unbelievable contact in that wall.
Fortunately, the car did not get up into the catch fencing as Bobby Allison's did several years ago. But boy, there is a lot of damaged race cars. But apparently, no driver injuries from this major accident that brought out the red flag in the Die Hard 500 at Talladega.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah. Good shake.
What happened, Dale?
Somebody turned me from behind and turned Elliott. Just about the same thing happened to me. Happened to Elliott as, that happened to me in '96 here. So it was just a big wreck. The fire came off Elliott's car and singed my hair and burnt my mustache up a little bit. I had to grow some new ones.
Okay. Obviously, a lot of close racing, Talladega. What was the day like up to that point?
Good. It's not good racing, though. Y'all can talk about all you want. It ain't good racing.
Okay. He's going to try and get through. And also, Bill Elliott, we're told, will be leaving the track via ambulance, being taken next door. There's an airport that is adjoining to this facility. Bill has his plane there. He's going to get in his plane and fly home and see his doctor there. We're told his only injury, which is minor, he just had his breath knocked out of him. So Bill Elliott is okay, and we've heard from Dale Earnhardt.
It's a heck of a way to win. I like the beat Terry and racing back and side by side. But like I said, I got into it a little bit to get by him and I got him loose and spun him out. Good racing team, Richard Childers, all the guys, they did a great job. They're going to do it there at the end.
On the last restart, it looked like you were able to charge and go by Labonte, and he went back by you. Did your car heat up a little bit and go away?
On the last restart, he had stickers, did he? I don't know, he just, he hit a big. I'm going to try to shake him and get on.
Well, our car was all in there, and the flag came out. Turned me around down there. I don't know what there was oil on the track, and the caution was out, and just wrecked me. So then we got new tires, came back out, and I got wrecked again. What am I not?
You got the four fresh tires, you came out, you were very quick, you passed a number of cars, you got the four fresh tires, you came out, you were very quick, you passed a number of cars, you passed the three, then walked the
Well, I passed him down front straight away, and he hit me in the corner down there and wanted to turn me around. Is that it?
Obviously, he said he planned to get up to you, had no intention of taking you out.
He never has an intention of taking anybody out. It just happens that way.
That's the worst racing I've seen in Daytona in a long, long time. They took NASCAR West Cup racing and made it some of the sorriest racing, took racing out of the drivers and the crew's hands. We can't adjust, can't make our car drive like we want. They just killed the race at Daytona. That's all I got to say.
Oh, here comes Earnhardt. Two. Watch this in the backstretch. Oh, some contact. And look at the damage to the right side of Earnhardt's car.
These are teammates.
happy about that. And I think maybe the right front tire is going down on Earnhardt's car. Watch as Labonte goes out for a second ball. Earnhardt is all the phase to Rusty's wall. Comes up for the position.
And this is a good break for Earnhardt. They've already made plans. As soon as pit road opens, they will come on pit road, change tires, pull that right front fender out. The spotter had told him. Now he's waving his fist at Mike Skinner out there on the racetrack. So maybe we might have a nice little rivalry develop right there. But Earnhardt will pit just as soon as he can, and they'll pull that right front fender out. And the spotter has told him a couple laps ago before the spin by Wally Dornbach that it didn't look like it was that bad to him. So they're glad to have this caution to get to work on the car a little bit, and maybe they can get it back to close to the same shape that it was before the contact.
You don't want to run leading or second or third or fourth or fifth anywhere, because he doesn't matter where we go.
Here we go. On the outside. Come on, Kenny.
With 2 laps.
Kenny. Kenny.
They touch into turn 1. Earnhardt is in the grass.
Hang on to that car. Whoa. Big save.
Amazing. He did not crash.
Great save, but man, terrible move by Cheever. You just can't run somebody down in the grass like that.
There, meanwhile, was Jarrett. Now, watch the right side. There's the contact that sent Cheever sideways, spinning.
A little nerf there. Tell him who's boss, I guess.
I just want to know it's over with. We'll race next time. I feel like he got loose off the throttle, but man, he just kept coming, and I thought I was off of it, and he just kept coming. No hard feelings? You got to go on. You can't let. That's Isle Rock race. We got to race to Sunday. We can't worry about that.
Was the spinner way of showing me you're unhappy and just leaving it here at Daytona?
Yeah, we're even now. No, we'll race again. Isle Rock race is supposed to be fun. We're trying to have fun.
Well, Earnhardt's trying to make it 3 wide.
Right here, you'll see his hand up, replay off there.
Wait a minute, you might see it this time. Watch this. Bam. That's just a little light tap.
There's that hand waving.
There it is.
Kurt, you're number 1.
How many sides does a pentagon have?
5.
What causes disease?
Bacteria.
How many letters are in the alphabet?
26.
Take your turn. Focus on the equation. You're going to do great.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Only the smartest boys and girls got to live here.
We are the #1 most educated population in 196 countries.
You'll have 2 hours to complete the test. All grades are final. Here are the results. No.
Lena Michaels. What?
Ellie Harper.
We have to do something, Dad.
I'm sorry, son. My hands are tied. If my dad wants to stand by this system, he's gonna have to stand by a system that put his own son to death.
The system is down. Commence containment mode.
There is a story developing at Vista Point High School.
Something's right. There's no way I failed that test.
Oh my God.
Kevin, can you help me?
You need to see this.
We're going live right now. I just want to keep the test.
Is it barbaric to be the best? If you don't support our great society, then you are a parasite. Do you know what we do with parasites? We wash them out!
Are we approved to come in for the finish?
You are approved.
days when he put the stock car world on notice. He got in his way, he was going over to his first championship. Who is this guy? From Rattling the Cage. You rattling the cage, all right. Crushes into showing Junior who's boss. Welcome to the real world. You don't mess with the old man. From a pass in the grass. It was amazing. To finally conquering the great American race. We won it. I can watch that race right now, but only one can be number one. He did amazing things all the time. This is more than just a race to the finish line. He took Jimmy 2 times. It ain't over until it's over. Buckle up and hang on for the 10 great Earnhardt moments. Number 10.
It was my first race as his crew chief. Here he comes climbing out again. The guys started going back to the garage area. Walked away from another one on the super speedways. I got the ambulance and I looked back at the car and I said, man, the wheels are still on that thing. It ain't over until it's over. I got out of the ambulance. I said, get out. Give me the car back. Get the hell out of my race car. With the infield care, son, I'm gonna finish.
Somebody like that think you would have looked back at the car and say, I may be able to get that thing back to the pit.
I see something go by.
I remember the crowd going absolutely crazy.
Everybody that's a fan of Dale Earnhardt knew that he was amazing.
The car was pretty well beat up. What a pile of crap. Earnhardt is in the car. He's marking instructions to the crew. The last we saw, our car was sitting there destroyed, and Dale Earnhardt was walking up in the back of the ambulance.
To me, I sat there in total amazement. That's why people loved him, because he did amazing things all the time.
They're going to now try to get the back dick on the car. There's nothing mechanical holding it on. They're going to have to tape it on. This thing is so beat up. Luckily, no one else hit the car. We just sort of bounced around off on our lid a little bit, scuffed around, went back, ended up, whatever.
He gets back in this race car, and they repair it enough to get him back out on the racetrack and go finish the race.
We're running for a championship. If Earnhardt can make one lap or two, it's an absolute miracle.
When he got out of that ambulance and goes over and gets back in that race car,
That just went to show the intestinal fortitude, the never say die, never give up attitude that one man alone had perhaps more of than any other guy that maybe ever put on a helmet.
That's the way it goes.
I think it gave him Superman status that day.
Number 9.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Dale Earnhardt Sr. racing against each other for the first time.
Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. went to Japan.
And his dad dropped the Highland Farm, and then his dad tried to win the points race. It didn't count for anything, so that they could have a little bit of fun.
This is when Dale Jr. was just coming into his own.
Just excited. I mean, just, we practiced a little bit together, and, just overwhelming kind of just being on the racetrack with him and competition.
He was listening to headphones, he was in that new Nirvana, I'm cool MTV stage. They drove 2 Coca-Cola cars, one red, one black. Junior had a faster car at the end of the race, and he's just going to pass the man in black. Versus he got a cut across the nose of
Dale Jr. kind of nudged him, and
he got into his dad. I'm watching this go on. I'm like, ooh, the old man's not going to like this.
and his dad got him jacked up.
Here it comes down the straightaway.
Realized that probably wasn't a real wise move after the fact.
I don't think he was happy about it. I think when we get home, Tony already had my back.
Now and then has to teach son a lesson.
Welcome to the real world, because that's how the old man ran.
I'm not done yet. You've got a lot to learn. Junior was that was what he
learned exactly what the Intimidator was all about.
You don't mess with the old man.
Number 8.
Dale wins another. This has never been done before in the contemporary history of Winston Cup racing.
You win a race, that makes your year. That makes your season. You're feeling like you're on cloud 9. And in some cases, winning a race in a season makes a guy's career.
But when you go to put 2, 3, and 4 of them right in a row, you guys got it going on.
Dale Sr. is just that's a whole topic in itself.
1987, setting these records. Everybody loved Dale Earnhardt Sr.
He has only lost 2 races this year.
He started that phenomenon of winning consecutive races.
I know how hard it is. That's why it's a record. That's why people don't usually break those kind of records. You might tie those kind of records, but they're hard to break.
Look at the jubilation in the rain.
It takes a lot of skill, but also takes a great team. and it takes a lot of luck.
When you had that attitude that Dale Earnhardt had, he was better than everybody else. He wanted it more than anybody else. Told me that with his own mouth. I want it more than you.
Number 7.
The pass in the grass.
I mean, it was amazing. The pass in the grass that was not a pass. He was dead sideways, and he was out in the grass.
About 99% of the drivers would have spun out by now.
The funny thing about the pass in the grass was it actually wasn't even a pass. It wasn't a pass. Folks,
ran in the grass.
Earnhardt never actually passes Bill Elliott.
But it was one hell of a save in the grass, I can tell you that.
Elliott came down on Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt will be the first to tell you. The son of a gun drove me down in the grass.
Bill spun that 95 car out, caused a big mess, and then he come up there and tried to spin me. I'd take it.
Grass is like ice, and the car slide out of control.
He slides through the grass and is able to come back across. Let's see you drive a 3,400-pound car at 175 miles an hour through the grass.
Through the infield grass, keeps his car straight.
It was an incredible display of driving, pure driving ability.
One of the most amazing moves I've ever seen.
Here, let's make a list. How many people can? I didn't think so. Nobody can do that. Dale Earnhardt
Decided he's going to win that race. Like it was magic that Earnhardt actually accelerated.
Earnhardt holds the lead. He holds his line. He goes agricultural racing through the grass, hangs on the lead, comes down the other side, back on the asphalt. He's still running in first.
He somehow saved it, and he never lost the lead, and went on to win the race.
And it is
That was the day that he just took the rules into his own hands.
Not be darned if Bill tried to knock me out twice. He had me sideways, going off 4-2 over there, didn't turn me down. And I slipped him up high just to let him know I was mad. And he tried to wreck it, didn't try to run me, warmed up, then he tried to wreck me after the concert there. I think he's a little upset.
But one heck of a maneuver. But you know what? The pass in the grass is such a cool name. I think people let that one slide.
Call it what you want to. I'll call it the pass in the grass if you want to. But one heck of a move by Dale Earnhardt.
It was those kind of moments that just added to the legend of Dale Earnhardt.
Coming up next, number 3 goes cage rattling.
Oh man, he didn't do that.
I mean,
Rattle his cage. You rattle his cage, all right. They just showered him with booze.
They'll burn this place down.
When it just missed the 10 greatest Dale Earnhardt moments.
Earnhardt's car destroyed.
Never got hurt. You could tell he'd been banged up pretty good.
Derek Cope drives off to victory. Earnhardt's got a flat tire. One of the most unbelievable things that I think's happened in the sport.
It just goes to show that anything can and will happen on the racetrack. I'm sure it ruined that Seagulls day.
Number 6.
Inside of Earnhardt, he taps him. Going into the third corner, he gets way down on the apron of the track. Coming to the white flag, there is a leader change, and Labonte takes the lead.
Whenever you have that black blue car behind you, you knew that you were subject to get hit.
Oh man, he didn't do that.
Terry Labonte probably started to cringe, but it was back then when the gloves certainly were on.
Using that rear bumper.
Fans were going nuts.
Even though it was still Earnhardt.
He'd get into somebody, he'd get in that left rear quarter panel just enough.
Sends him flying, crushes him in turn 3, and then Earnhardt goes on and wins the race.
And guess what he said in victory lane?
Lamont's the best.
Back to him and just rattle him. I wasn't going to wreck him, but I got to him and he turned him around. So didn't mean to really turn around. Meant to rattle his cage over.
I just wanted to rattle his cage.
Rattle his cage. You rattle his cage, all right. Broke the cage.
Getting out of the car with that little Earnhardt smirk on his face and swearing to God that he didn't mean to wreck him.
It's a heck of a way to win. I like to beat Terry and raced him back, side by side.
You can't hit somebody that hard, Dale, and think you're just going to get his attention.
Earnhardt actually got booed on that night.
They just showered him with booze.
And he never got booed.
What? Are you kidding me?
They gonna burn this place down.
Deafening to hear
The folks booing. There was 160,000 in the stands. 140,000 of them were booing.
At the time, you know, Dale was the black hat, man. He was the villain, and Terry was the nice, calm Iceman. Turning Terry Labonte around, coming off turn 4 that day, is how people remember Earnhardt.
I don't think those two drivers ever got over that one, and the fans will never forget that.
I was going to just try to shake him and get under him. I wasn't going to try to wreck him.
If you're an Earnhardt fan, it was the bump and run. If you're a Terry Labonte fan, he punted it.
Number 5.
And how about this kid? We can coast on now, Mike. First time Winston Cup winner.
It's just kind of stunning how good Junior was from the time they dropped the green flag at the end of the race.
Junior won that race going away. I mean, he embarrassed everybody that day.
You know, there's as much pride in that 3 car. Earnhardt Sr. goes around this racetrack.
Well, guys, that's the end of the video here. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button. Come on, and I'll see you later.
To win a
Bye.
race
Please.
and to win at Texas Motor Speedway.